Finally, when everybody left, I remember we got into a room and we were finally able to just say thank you, Lord, for allowing us to be here and to get here safely. Help my dad register us at school. We're signed up for the ESL program. Students from different countries that will take that class, and that's how we got to know friends, and that's when I realized that I was not the only one. That a lot of people had to go through the same things, so maybe worse things that I went through to get here. I wanted to fit in. I wanted to be part of something, and I tried out for the swimming team and for the diving team. I remember we tried out, and the coach was very impressed, but he decided that I couldn't be part of it because he didn't have anybody to translate for me. He was my biology teacher in high school. He always made sure that I was sitting with the non-Spanish speaker. We had the option in many of the classes to do the test in Spanish because we were on those ESL programs. He refused to give me material in Spanish, so I will go crying to my counselor and I will be like, change me, like I don't want to be in this class anymore. And she will be like, I can do that for you, but you're just gonna give him the pleasure of you dropping out the class. Even though we were facing something really bad and a struggle, God always had somebody there for us to get that help. In my 12th grade, I started working at the store where my mom was working. I was anxious that immigration was gonna get to the store. I always felt that they were just gonna show up and take me away. And that was something that I had to leave. Every single day. You know, I graduated from high school. I didn't have my paperwork done, so I couldn't go to college. I remember I got into depression. I told my mom, I just can't live my life like this. Like, I want to be something. I want to be able to do something. I want to make a difference in this life. And I just felt that all the doors were closed, and they kept closing for me. We find this school, and it was a bilingual school, and they would give you classes for programming, hardware, administration, secretary. I got my certifications. I became friends with the owners of the school because I was taking every single class, and they helped me get a job. They sent my resume. I remember I went to the interview. I got hired on the spot. I felt like I belonged. I felt like, my goodness, I did it, you know. So I started working and I felt so good, but yet again, every single day was a struggle because I was like, what if I say something wrong? What if they find out I don't have papers? What if they find out that I'm using something fake? You get to the point that you feel like you're living a lie, that you don't belong anywhere, that you're just lying to everyone, and it gets to the point that it's just so much that is making you feel so stressed out. When I met Joe, I was actually working at the mall, and I met his sister there, and I was taking my programming classes at that point, and I needed help with something, and he had just graduated from college, and he knew about hardware and all that stuff. So that's how we met. She introduced me to him, and he was helping me with my homeworks and stuff, and I was fighting hard for him, but I also was scared. I didn't know what was he gonna think of me. I think at that point in my life, I just felt that I wasn't worthy. I couldn't fully give up my all to someone because I always had to lie. When we started talking about marriage and, you know, forming a family, and at that point, you know, my mom was like, you need to let him know. And I told him, you know, I don't have papers, I'm illegal. I was just so scared that I was gonna lose this person that I was falling in love with. You know, after I told him, he said, so we just get a fix. It's okay, you know, we just get your paperwork. You know. So we got married, and we started our paperwork for my residency. I wasn't able to qualify, even though my husband was an American citizen, you know, and I was paying taxes, and I was doing everything that I needed to get done. You know, I couldn't qualify because they had just changed the law. So when I started having my kids, I had so much more anxiety because at this point, it was my kids, my husband. I always lived with fear. I was always anxious. that they were gonna deport me and I wasn't gonna be able to raise my kids and be with them. So when I was pregnant with my last son, we got the letter. My status was, my application was approved. We finished the interview, and I mean that I felt so much joy at that time. But I wasn't done yet. I wanted to become an American citizen. In 2016, we were gonna submit my paperwork. That's when my husband got sick, so we kind of had to stop the process. When we knew, he wasn't gonna make it from his cancer, he wanted me to become a citizen.
Did he say why?
He wanted to make sure that we were gonna be safe. He wanted to make sure that they were not gonna separate us. We're struggling because I wasn't working, he wasn't working, we were dealing with chemos, and we were able, to get the money. We submitted everything. Unfortunately, Joe didn't get to see when I became a citizen. And that was sad because we fought so long to get that. It was like you wait so long for that day. But I know he was happy, that I finally got my paperwork and now we were gonna be safe. I told the kids that I finally got approved, and they were so happy. And it's crazy because for me, every time we go to a game, or every time that we have to do the pledge, or we have to sing, or it's like I always did it, and I did it with joy because this country gave me so many opportunities. Even though I hated it when I got here, I know that my parents took and did the right thing for us, for me and my brother. They wanted us to live that American dream. They wanted us to be free because they knew our country was getting worse. And even though we had a lot of ups and downs and through all these things, they gave us a better life here.
What would you say to 14-year-old Maria?
Don't give up. Keep pushing because you're going to get there.